Hi, I'm Jordan with Watchers in the Dark. Today I'm joined with Caleb. We are currently at Arch City GT in Columbus, Ohio, which is, I think, the first GT, or one of the first, to do the Nephilim, the bound status sheet, the new points, the whole suite of things. And you did pretty good today. You played Sisters of Battle. How do you feel?
I feel good. So, I mean, this list I've been running, specifically in Nachman prior, I was doing really good with. Had a lot of 4-1s at prior GTs, a couple RTTs I won as well. So, and it really translated well into Nephilim. On top of course, the point drops and all that stuff. It just made my list better. Overall, I feel really good. Sisters, I think, are very strong. Definitely have some bad matchups. But their secondaries are just so egregious at times. But yeah, I feel good.
Who do you think your MVP is? Best unit?
Oh, gee, the Repentia. There's no question about it. I mean, you can make arguments for just about anybody. The Canoness, the Smash Canoness is great with all her abilities. But man, the Repentia they just do work. You can put them at anything and they just die. It's great.
What is the one, I'd say, thing you could have done differently to change the outcome of the event for you? Like one unit you'd change, or maybe one thing you would have done differently tactically?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, it's like one of those things like hindsight, right? Where we can always say, oh, this was a misplay, that was a misplay, but, you know, it's like hindsight's 20/20, right? So, of course, there's things I could have done better that would have changed the event and done something like that. However, I think the biggest thing for this list, what's weird is every single event, the thing that's been the most useless has actually been the Meltas. I don't know if I really think Retributors are worth it anymore.
The terrain's rough.
Terrain's rough.
Them. Yeah, a lot of walls at this event.
100%. And unless I'm running into a lot of knights, I don't know if it's really worth it. And honestly, even in that, I'm wounding on 4s. I don't have the CP to try and do the Holy Trinity thing to give myself +1 to wound. I don't know if they're really worth it. But then again, on the flip side of that, what do I even bring instead? And so, list composition-wise, maybe swap those out. As far as like plays, God, there's a list of, of plays I think I would have done better. A big one actually will give specifics, obviously against Garrett. I played him in the last round here. Death Guard, which is I think one of Sisters' worst matchups right now. But with that, a big thing that I did, I had a big charge at the very end. Where I kind of lined up a lot of different attacks. I had Morvenval on Typhus with some Celestians on there. I had Repentia with the Smash Canoness over here against 2 units of Death Shroud Terminators. And I elected to fight with Morvenval first, since I thought he was going to do the fight on death. Not really even thinking about the interrupt, and that ended up wiping those Repentia and made it pretty much impossible for me to even think about removing those Death Shroud. Had I fought with the Repentia first, there's a possibility I remove both units of Death Shroud, and then he, possibly doesn't kill Morvenval with Typhus. I kill Typhus, and then we have a little bit more of a game. But at that point, we both were like, cool, let's walk away from this. So that was probably a big critical mistake on that one. I mean, unit prioritization for sure. So.
Well, thanks for your time, Caleb. Have a great day. You just got a really respectable 5-0 win, second place win with Tau today. How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. We brought our list for ATC for next week.
Okay, cool.
And so we were really just here to kind of gather data and kind of see, like, is there anything we need to know for next week? Like, I don't know if this is what a list I would normally bring to a singles event, like, going forward, but, like, it's what I wanted to test out, and I got some good information about matches I hadn't played yet, so I'm happy.
You had a kind of a very different list, I think, to what we would have seen in Nachman. You had a lot of the classics like Crisis Suits, but you're also bringing, I saw some off, what I consider kind of off-meta, like Enva and Crute Hounds. So what was it that you didn't like? Like, what do you think you would change going forward?
Oh, with my list this weekend? I don't know. I don't know that I need to change it to do what I want. It's ideally a team tournament list. So, like, we're looking to, my job was like, I need something that I can build that would be good into like Knights and Marines. And so I don't know that you could do a lot to change how this list matches up into those things. If I wanted it to be a single player mission or a single player tournament list, it's possible to consider dropping the 2 regular hammerheads for Sunshark bombers. It's something I want to try.
Yeah.
The difficult matchups are specifically usually Eldar and Sisters, and the Sunshark Bombers are just like obnoxiously good at dealing damage into those things when they don't want to come out.
That's true.
They might die right away, but they can kill so much on their way down that it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I don't know if 2 Sunshark Bombers is good. Brenton's a teammate. He played 1 this weekend. We have another guy, Tom Ogden's our captain. He's looking at trying 1 or 2. So I don't know if it's necessary, but it could just make hard matchups easier. So it's probably something we'll try.
That's cool.
I don't need it for what I'm trying to do with beating Knights and Marines with this list.
Right.
So I'm not going to change that for ATC next week, but it's something I'm whether it's good or not, I'm definitely going to put some bombers on the table and check them out.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, and we'll put your list in the description below so that way you guys can see it at home. Who do you think your MVP was?
I know that's hard. Everyone pulled their weight this weekend.
Okay.
I will give a specific shout out to the Cold Star Commander.
Ooh, okay.
That I had not played this loadout on him in a tournament. I had played him in like 2 games. My old Cold Star Commander was triple airburst cannon with precision of the Hunter.
Not as good anymore. No.
Yeah. Well, no, this was after the nerf.
Oh, you still?
I was doing it after the nerf.
That's cool. Okay.
Because like his job was for the elf matchup, and so triple airburst precision of the Hunter was still average like 9 wounds in the elves who were hiding. Because he's got the free 5th system with the target lock, and then he can take 4 other things. And so I had been running 3 airbursts and the flamer on him. Tom swears by the one I played this weekend, which is just like 18 Gatling shots and then a missile launcher, and then he's still got 4 rerolls to hit and wound. And the amount of times he just like teleported somewhere and just picked up a unit on his own is obnoxious.
That's so good.
I will say my favorite thing on him, and I will say this item is my favorite MVP at this point, is that I'm one of the few people I know that is playing the Tau Relic.
Okay. Which one is that?
It's vectored maneuvering thrusters.
Okay.
And it's the Tau Set Relic specifically. And it gives your model +2 inches to move on that model, which basically means you can't take drones because they don't get +2, so they're just always out of coherency.
Right.
But what it does is that it makes your move 16 on a Cold Star, and if you ever declare a charge against him, he gets to move 16 inches first.
That's crazy.
So like you can set him up as like a screen when you know they can't shoot him, and then they have to charge him to get the stuff behind him, and you're like, okay, well now I'm gonna go steal this objective because you didn't do anything over here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you're out of position to get him. I'm in a crazy position next turn, or you have to ignore him. You can teleport and put down 20 shots for 4 rerolls. It's the amount of damage he puts out. Specifically because you can't really kill him in the early game unless like I do something terrible.
Yeah.
So like he's usually living the Kalyan, which is what I usually like to pick. And so like today, I think it was against Necrons, he got to turn 5 and he shot 20 times and he hit 38.
Okay.
Because when you've got fully rolls with exploding 4s and you already have 20 shots, it's not very hard at all to hit an obnoxious amount of times. And so he does so much damage with that Gatling output, and then the annoyingness of flying away is just. I don't know if it's the best way you could build him. You could put an honor on him, but my way is so much more fun, and I like doing that.
Nice. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Lyle.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you want to shout out before we go?
Just shout out Death or Glory.
Yeah.
If you are up in the Midwest and you're looking for some competitive testing, hit us up. We got a Discord, Facebook group. We run a bunch of super majors. We're always looking for people to hang out with. So if you're anywhere near the Great Lakes, give us a shout.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Brenton, you just won the tournament. How are you feeling about that?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. I've been practicing with Tau since the book came out, so I felt pretty good going in with the new changes and knowing what the matchups were like.
Yeah. So your list was Tau Sept. I saw a lot of different crisis suits in there. I think there was a hammerhead, a flyer, a bunch of different stuff, and a really cool composition. Who do you think your MVP was?
Well, surprisingly, my MVP was actually the Sunshark Bomber.
Oh, wow.
It was able to get behind Eldar and kind of do what it needed to do. It's there for the Sisters matchup. Just anything where I need to take out small infantry that can hide.
That's really cool because that's not a unit you see often. Is there anything, I guess, you would change about your tactics or your list going into any future events? Anything you regret doing?
Well, I had a really rough game round 3 against a teammate with his Tyranids. I was limited to only scoring 69 points, which kind of makes this a little bit of a sweat for an event.
Yeah,
But
points are important. Yeah.
no, I would bring just a little more anti-tank and less anti-horde. So I had a burst cannon on every suit that could take a burst cannon, and it took burst cannons on a long strike vehicle.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's great into like smaller things, but like when I run into nids and big monsters, that's kind of rough.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Brenton. Is there anything you want to shout out?
No, not really. I mean, Arch City is a great event. It was a great time. Looking forward to seeing what Death or Glory does next week at ATC.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. So.